Hey everyone, so I'm just about to do a quick card project using up some of the scraps that I have on my desk. One of the key components is these 1/4" strips. I used a couple of them for this card right here, and I'll put a link to the video where I created this card. But essentially the card template or the card design was literally just a standard A2 card base, which is 5.5 by 4.25, with a 5.25 by 4" backing panel, and then the rest was left to me to design. So I grabbed these three off my desk, created a bit of a strip, and then I grabbed this happy birthday from my sentiment stash. What I found is this created this nice little spot here that I could add one of the icon stickers, and it's a very straightforward and simple card, but I find it really well balanced, and I found it easy to use one of the medium-sized stickers. I am nearly through all of my icon stickers now. There's just these ones that I've got left here on the screen. And I thought it'd be great to actually finish them off. So with this design that just kind of popped into my mind by using what I had in front of me, I have a bunch of these left, and you can see I've started to mat these onto the white paper. So I'm gonna mat them all, chop them all down to create these strips. I then have this paper pad which has quite a few pages left. I only used 6 sheets of it for a previous project. Now, I'm not a giant fan of pink, and I wouldn't normally select bright pink as a backing panel, but I feel like this is actually looks pretty cool. And in this paper, one of the designs I'm going to struggle to use the most is this bright pink check. I thought if I use that and my grey strips in a similar manner, and I have a whole series of leftover sentiments that were also in my stash, which is where this one came from. So if I have my strip and my sentiment, and then I've got the perfect space here to put an icon sticker, my thought was that I could actually work through and use the 3 bows, I can use the flower, I can use the envelope and the mobile phones, and then even this one camera that's left. I think I'm going to make about 12 to 15 cards using these, depending on how many I have. Let's get started. The first thing I need to do is cut down the pink pattern paper. I need it to be 5.25 inches high, so I've cut a bit off the edge, and then I've cut it in half so that I have 2 3-inch components. I then cut those down to 1/4 inch and 2 3/4, and you can see here I'm just using my ATG to attach it all to the backing panels, actually to the card bases. I've run through and I've done the majority of them. I'll just add these pieces to the white card bases, which are A2, so 5.5 by 4.25. The next step is to make sure that I put some paper in between the 2 pieces of pink. This will just make sure that things are nice and level so that when I actually add the grey strips on top, there's no noticeable dip and everything stays really, really flat on the cards. For the grey strips, I actually ended up using double-sided tape on the back. It's really quick to attach, and I had the perfect width that was about 3/4 inch. So I'm just running that straight down the back of each of the panels, and then I can literally peel off the backing tape of the double-sided adhesive and stick that onto the pink paper. In terms of creating the grey strip panels themselves, I cut out some white cardstock into a panel of 5.5 inches, and then I laid down all of the grey strips in groups of 3. What that meant is that I had everything ready to go, and then I could just go through with my trimmer and then cut them down into the individual panels. The next step is to attach the happy birthday sentiments. I'm going to chop up some of this spare cardstock so that I can put it behind the sentiments on the right hand side. Again, just keeping everything nice and flat. I seem to accumulate lots of strips of pattern paper and a few leftover embellishments. Is there something that you tend to collect when you do card making projects that you are looking for ideas on how to use up? If so, maybe drop a comment below and I'm happy to see if I also have some of those things collected. Might give me an idea for another video or something else that I can use to create more cards. The other thing is I always do birthday cards. Well, not always, but I mainly do birthday cards and thank you cards. And that's because I donate so many of my cards and that's what the charities request. But are there other types of cards that you create or that you'd like to see created that would maybe inspire you? If so, then you can also put a comment below to let me know about those also. I am absolutely open to feedback.
from people who are watching. So now that I've attached all of the sentiments, I then ran through and used the stickers. You can see there I only have a handful left on the right hand side, so I consider those stickers to be complete. I'm now going to move on to do some blue cards.
Okay, so I have now created the panels with the pale grey strips, and there are 13 of them. I've also created some backing panels with these leftover blue pieces of paper that were from the previous project. So there's 7 spare up here, but what I've created down here is a similar design to the pink one, but I can attach this, and then in my stash I had a few of these little presents that have been coloured with Copic markers. So my intent is just to pop one of those there as a little embellishment, and that will complete another 6 of the cards.
So the process for the blue cards is exactly the same as the pink. It's exactly the same layout, exactly the same approach. So I've just put a little bit of footage here of me creating the first bundle of blue, adding the sentiment, adding the little embellishment. I'm then going to find some backing papers so that I can finish the second batch of blue cards.
Okay, so I'm going to continue to use what I have. So I have 7 of these that I'm going to mat on multiple layers, including the layer on the blue and the white. And I still have some of my spare medium blue. I'll use these parts here with one with the charcoal. I'll chop these down so that I get 2 from each one, which means I won't be doing a full 4-inch panel. I'll leave a gap that I'll hide behind that stripe. And then once I've created them, I'll figure out an embellishment to add. So now that I've completed the backing panels and I've done all of the embellishments, and then I've decided that I'm just going to add the happy birthday, and then I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to add any other embellishments or decorations. I just think this plain blue and the black and the grey all creates like just a pretty clean and simple card, which is good to have in your stash. So we've got 6 of these cards that are using the backing panels that I had spare, as well as the sentiments, and then some leftover embellishments I had in my stash. In the blue theme as well, with these ones, I've decided not to add any kind of decoration. I've just left them completely plain. And then for the pink cards, these ones all have an embellishment, and there's 12 of them in total. On some of the cards, I used a couple of embellishments. So all in all, 24 cards using up loads of scraps. I've put a link here to a video I think you might enjoy. Have a great day.